5 bases of power. Social psychologists John R.P. French and Bertram Raven, in a now classic study, 1959, developed a schema of sources of power by which to analyze how power plays work or fail to work in a specific relationship. According to French and Raven, power must be distinguished from influence in the following way. Power is a state of affairs which holds in a given relationship, A minus B, such that a given influence attempt by A over B, A's desires to change in B more likely. Conceived this way, power is fundamentally relative. It depends on the specific understandings A and B each apply to their relationship, and, interestingly, requires B recognition of a quality in A which would motivate B to change in the way A intends. If A is the coach or mentor, it is important for A to be educated in the strategies and philosophy of the discipline if effective change is desired. As previously mentioned, it is also important for B to be aware of the process and techniques of coaching and mentoring so that they are able to draw upon the quality A is using and apply learning and understanding. French and Raven argue that there are 5 significant categories of such qualities. 1. Legitimate power, also called positional power, is the power of an individual because of the relative position and duties of the hold of the position within an organization. Legitimate power is formal authority delegated to the holder of the position. It is usually accompanied by various attributes of power, such as uniforms, officers, etc. This is the most obvious and the most important kind of power. Referent power is the power or ability of individuals to hold or to attract others and build loyalty. It's based on the charisma and interpersonal skills of the power holder. A person may be admired because of a specific personal trait, and this admiration creates opportunity for interpersonal influence. Here, the person under power desires to identify with these personal qualities and gain satisfaction from being an accepted follower. Nationalism and patriotism count towards an intangible sort of referent power. For example, soldiers fight in wars to defend the honor of the country. This is the second least obvious power, but arguably the most effective. Advertisers have long used referent power of sports figures for products endorsements. For example, the charismatic appeal of the sports star supposedly leads to an acceptance of the endorsement. Although the individual may have little real credibility outside the sports arena, referent power can be a big responsibility because you don't necessarily have to do anything to earn it. Therefore, it can be abused quite easily. Someone who is likable but lacks integrity and honesty may rise to power and use that power to hurt and alienate people, as well as gain a personal advantage. Relying on referent power alone is not a good strategy for a leader who wants longevity and respect. When combined with other sources of power, however, it can help one achieve great success. Expert power is an individual's power deriving from the skills or expertise of the person and organization's needs for those skills and expertise. Unlike the others, this type of power is usually highly specific and limited to the particular area in which the expert is trained and qualified. When you have knowledge and skills that enable you to understand the situation, suggest solutions, use solid judgment, and generally outperform others, people have a reason to listen to you. When you demonstrate expertise, people tend to trust you and respect what you say. As a subject expert, your ideas will have more value and others will look to you for leadership in that area. Reward power. Reward power depends on the ability of the power wielder to confer upon others a reward of some kind, such benefits, for example, time off, desired gifts, promotions, or increases in pay or responsibility. This power is obvious, but also ineffective if abused. People who abuse reward power can become pushy or too forthcoming or accused of moving things too quickly. If others expect that you'll reward them for doing what you want, there's a high probability that they'll do it. The problem with this basis of power is that you may not have as much control over rewards as you need. Supervisors probably don't have complete control over salary increases, and managers can't often control promotions all by themselves. And even a CEO needs permission from the board of directors for some actions. So when you use up available rewards, or the rewards don't have enough perceived value to others, your power weakens. Coercive power. Coercive power is the application of negative influences. It includes the ability to demote or to withhold others' rewards. The desire for valued rewards or the fear of having them withheld ensures the obedience of those under power. Coercive power tends to be the most obvious but least effective form of power, as it builds resentment and resistance from the people who experience it. Threats and punishments are common tools of coercion, implying or threatening that someone will be fired, demoted, denied privileges, or even undesirable assignments. These are examples of coercive power. Extensive use of coercive power is rarely appropriate in an organizational setting, and relying on these forms of power alone will result in very cold, technocratic, impoverished styles of leadership.